Hey, what is going on, guys? Manaplastic here. We are finally taking a look at this thing. It's been a couple days now that I've been sitting on this because I obviously had to find the time and the correct time, I should say, to review this. And we're finally doing it. Move the box a little more forward. Right there. This is one of the most exciting figures of this year. It's a brand new Goku. We've been being fed, sorry, there's still a little bit of noise, but we've been fed 2.0 Gokus for like the past, how long? 10 years? Has it really been 10 years? I can't exactly pinpoint when up until now, but it's been a long time since they've been feeding us 2.0 Gokus. So this is honestly very exciting. Obviously, I have already played around with this thing outside the box, just, for a little bit of a preliminary test. But other than that, this is going to be pretty much like my complete first impressions on this guy. I have heard of a couple issues, for sure. I'm not saying he's perfect, but from what it seems to be, he honestly seems to be an incredibly awesome figure. Now, something I want to add is I have decided actually to go review the Kong Goku after this one as a Throwback Thursday instead of before, since this one is more recent, of course. So look forward to that. And I will be reviewing the DKO Super Saiyan 2 Goku head soon. I know for those of you guys that are on Instagram that follow AFFM Customs, he made a new neck peg for this, for the DKO one, since this one has a complete new neck peg, which is something that I'll talk about in the review. But yeah, other than that, let's go take him out of the box, and thank you guys for watching again. I really do appreciate you guys, but yeah, well, let's go ahead and take him out of the box. Well, he is officially taken out of the box. Let's just take a quick look at the accessories he comes with. For those of you that are maybe not in the loop, I'm assuming most of you guys had to wait for the FedEx delivery truck to drive by, because I know I was not going to be able to hear myself talking. But for those of you that maybe aren't in the loop as much, this is a $35 figure. Just wanted to point that out. But this is a $35 figure, so the accessories are not going to be like insane. However, the accessories honestly are not that bad. You get quite a bit of hands. You get, what is it? 2 instant transmission, I think technically you could say. Then you get 2 fighting pose hands, 2 like open grab hands, 2 ki blast hands. And then I actually really like the faces on this guy. Here's I'll move the light a bit. Here is the yelling face. Let me make sure that's on camera. And these are actually really nice. I find that these are probably some of the most accurate to Goku. A lot of the 2.0 ones are like very specific in the way Goku looks. But I think these are kind of encompassing several sagas of what he looks like. And of course, including the Cell Saga. I really like this smiling face. The only problem I see is that, let me put this down. If you pay attention to this, let me make sure the light, there we go. The only problem I see is that this eye is kind of uneven. I don't know if it was on purpose, because it's supposed to be from a specific angle, but that does kind of bother me a little bit. If you can see on the camera, if I put it right there, I don't think it's coming across on camera that much. I hope it is, because from what I can see, this eye is a little it's a little off in compared to the left one. But I mean, other than that, the faces are really good. And then of course we have the windswept hair. I myself, I wish they could have gone a little lighter with the shading on the hair. Of course, that's just the personal preference. But here we can also see where the new neck peg is joined at. Honestly, the only fear I have for this is I would just hope the neck pick doesn't start getting weak over time and potentially break. But I haven't heard of anything happening like that, so I'm not sure. I think it's probably like a non-issue. I think the only thing people have been saying is it's kind of hard to pop the head on, especially because it's essentially like a double ball peg, I think, double ball joint. So there is that. But yeah, that's for the accessories, and let's just go on to review the figure itself. And well, here we have him. Right off the bat, I really like the look of this figure. I myself, one of the reasons why I didn't really like 2.0s that much is because they were always very slim, but I feel like there wasn't enough mass on them, like on his arms or like on his torso. And it looked kind of flimsy sometimes. Obviously, not every 2.0 is the same, but I find that this looks a lot more accurate to his proportions. I know there are a couple people that were like maybe saying his legs were a little short or his torso should have been like a bit taller, I think, from what I've heard. But honestly, I think it's really good. If I'm not mistaken, this guy also has a lot more accuracy in his belt. If you guys don't know, I think it's Fenyo. I think it's Fenyo proportions. The artist Fenyo tends to draw the belt kind of high, almost like belly button level or a little above, his sash technically, and a lot of figures have not gotten that right. So I do like the fact that this is a lot closer. I'm not gonna say it's completely correct. I'm pretty sure it is though, but I like the proportions on this guy right off the bat. I really do like him. Closer look at the camera. He looks really nice. Like the finish, I do wish the arms were a little more matte. I think they seem to be a little more shiny than usual. Maybe it's just my copy, or because if you pay attention, the light is not shining as much. It's not causing that much of a shine on the face, but on the arms, you can kind of notice it. So matte coat probably could have used a little more, but it's not that big of an issue. Honestly, yeah, he's really good. I like him. He looks cool. This is definitely my favorite Goku figure. I haven't had many, but this is definitely my favorite. Let's go jump into articulation, which I have heard many things over, so we're gonna go ahead and test the waters with that. But so, Bandai has been bragging about like a brand new shoulder system, and oh wow, that is really high. Has there ever been, have the Goku figures normally been this high in terms of shoulder movement? I'm not sure, but this is really good. This itself is really good. There's a little bit of, what is that, paint? I don't know what that was, but a little bit of debris under his shoulder. One thing that does bother me, I noticed immediately, is for those of you guys who don't know, this is made in the dreaded Vietnam. This was mass produced in the dreaded Vietnam. So the QC, mine, it seems to be okay. Like it's not flimsy. It's not like, it doesn't seem like it's gonna break or anything. But Vietnam tends to have a very incredibly bad reputation for QC. I don't know why Bandai still chooses to go with Vietnam. Like nothing against them, obviously, but their production it can be pretty bad at times. If I'm not mistaken, the first Boy from the Future Trunks was made in Vietnam. That thing was a disaster. His arms would fall off, they would break. I think he was also very loose all the time. So please, Bandai, if you're listening, please do not mass produce in Vietnam anymore, please. But anyways, rent ended, or rent finally off. What am I saying? Sorry, it is actually so pretty early here. So, but okay, back to the actual articulation. Here we have the arms. Put them down. Let's see, you can push them up a bit, so like a little higher than the traps. Down. Okay. The sleeves themselves are kind of fidgety because they tend to kind of be all over the place. But in terms of QC, I see like a little speck. I think that might be just like plastic strain. I heard that the sleeves are very annoying to deal with. Mine seem to be okay. Like, it's not too fidgety. Let's look at the head articulation. Side to side. You have back. That is really good. That's especially because, let me pop this off. Because obviously the peg is right there in the back. So you're going to get a lot more range movement at the looking upwards because of how the peg is installed, as you can see. So there's not as much issue trying to get the peg to look up because there's nothing in the way, essentially. It's essentially just like a very, very streamlined way to get the neck to move without any obstruction or anything. Oh, and it popped off. Oh my god. Please don't. Okay. There's no issue. It's just okay. It's just a little fidgety from what I can tell. But so far it's not bad, honestly. Now this is a dreaded point of contention for everyone. Is this torso? If you guys notice, essentially there's like a little. Essentially, it's now like a little. What's the word? Like a little hinge, but it's a lot. There's a lot less plastic inside, a lot less mechanisms. It's a little more simple, but it's really effective in terms of range. However, look at the range he has bending backwards. Yeah, a lot of people don't really like the gaps. I myself don't find it to be such a big issue. I can just move the belt around and stuff. I think it's fine. It's not really such a horrible thing. Also, I just realized that the belt is not colored both ways, so the back is a little lighter, so I have to move it around. That's the correct way. Mine was backwards, and then forward. That is really good forward. He can crunch all the way down to his pelvis, essentially. Again, you can just move the sash. And honestly, it's not that bad. It honestly could have been a lot worse, in my opinion. I'm not trying to, what's the word? Glaze bandai or anything. But I don't find it to be bad. In terms of articulation, this figure seems to be going pretty well. And then let's go to the leg up, kick forward. It can be past 90 for sure. Down and then to the side. Oh, to this side. Okay. It can no longer go all the way to 90 because this hinge right here, this hip flap is kind of in the way, so it's pushing against the plastic inside. And I don't want to break it, so I'm not going to try to force the articulation. Again, same for this leg right here. Up, pretty much 90. To the side, not quite 90. That does kind of suck. It will definitely hinder a couple of poses you can do with him. But I think it's definitely manageable still. And then we have the brand new chin articulation. It's essentially mostly just going forward. If you can see, it's like a hinge in there. So it mostly goes forward on both. And that's pretty much it. Again, I'm pretty sure these are like brand new shoes. The ankles seem to be a little different. But mine are kind of loose. I think this guy kind of has a little bit of trouble standing up on his own. So, yeah. I mean, in terms of articulation though, it's honestly not bad. Like at all. It's really good. I've heard people obviously compare this guy to the Daima Goku. And I've heard that the Daima Goku supposedly is a little better. I myself don't have the Daima Goku. I feel like I probably should have gotten him. Just for the sake of comparison too. However, taking into account this is a $35 figure. All of the QC overall seems to be not that bad. People were having trouble with the faces here not fitting. I don't have to do that. It seems like everything is popping into place properly. Taking into account everything, do I recommend buying this figure? Yes. This is a brand new Goku, brand new engineering. It has pretty decent accessories for $35. I got this for $36.88. I will definitely find a link for you guys in the description. I do recommend you getting this. Of course, if you can get it, if you can afford it, definitely get this. It does have its hiccups, but I think overall most of it is very positive, incredibly positive. It looks good. I like the aesthetic of this Goku. It looks really cool. I really like this one. I'm definitely, I think, going to have to sell my Kong Goku after I review that one. But yeah, I'm very happy with this. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys own this figure. Let me know if you guys are planning to buy this figure or just thinking about it. Discuss with me in the comments. Again, I do recommend you buying this figure. But I'll try not to hold you for too long. Let's go ahead and get to the posing segment.